these real quick. Hopefully it won't leave this shaking. Welcome. Welcome to Kingdom Acres. I'm Sandra Waldrop. So happy to have y'all here. This is my segment on Craft Around the Clock. I was supposed to go live on Saturday, and I need to make my apologies because I did not do it. I didn't go live, and I really wanted to, but I have a really good excuse. Just give me 1 second because I'm wanting to, wanting to share myself over to a group. Good morning, Miss Pam. See people coming on here. Welcome to Kingdom Acres, y'all. Okay. It's wanting to take me to somebody else's kingdom thing. Kingdom page. There we go. There I am. All right. Let's see. Let me share this to a group. What am I looking for? There we go. I did it. I figured it out. Hi, Tracy. So anyways, I was supposed to go live on Saturday, and I really wanted to go live on Saturday, but I ended up going to Port Arthur on Friday to visit my husband, and I ended up staying there for 2 nights instead of just 1. I usually just like zoom up there and then zoom on back, and he ended up working the weekend. And you know, when you have a husband who lives out of town, or lives out of town, who works out of town, he's not living out of town. Hello, Miss Diane, Irma, good morning. It's really hard, you know, on the household, obviously, having dad out of town, but also it's hard on him too. And, you know, just having to be away from home and sleep in a different bed and not have his family there, no affection, and, you know, nobody to hug on or anything like that. That's really hard. So I like to go up there and visit him and stay with him. Good morning, Miss Anita. So I ended up doing that. And I apologize to y'all, but really, sorry, not sorry, because I do have to prioritize my family over my page. So, but that's okay, right? Y'all will show me some grace there. I ended up not doing any ribbon embroidery on my pants that I did last week. If you missed that video, you really want to go back and watch it. They turned out so stinking cute. I did some printable transfers and ironed them on, and then I did some buttons, and oh my gosh, I'm just in love with these pants, guys. I'm in love. And so we did that, and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to come back on Saturday and finish these up with some ribbon embroidery, and I decided not to after all. Hi, Miss Caffany. How are you? So anyways, today I have a precious craft. Yes, Miss Diane, thank you. Family does come first. They have to. They have to. Who else is going to put them first if not me? Right? So, today I have a sweet little craft. Backstory on this, I'm doing a Bible study group with some ladies. It's called D Group. And we've been working through the Corinthians. We finished up 1 Corinthians. Now we're in 2 Corinthians. And, our like homework or our challenge this week is to create something that kind of reflects our identity as being, you know, clay jars, basically. Says, now we have this treasure in clay jars so that this extraordinary power may be from God and not from us. We are afflicted in every way, but not crushed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. We are persecuted, but not abandoned. We are struck down, but not destroyed. Man, how much hope is there in this? Oh gosh, it's just so good. We always carry the death of Jesus in our body, so that the life of Jesus may also be displayed in our body. This is amazing, right? What a gift. What a gift. Good morning. Oh, thank you, Miss Liz. So I'm not going to create really like a clay jar. What I want to do is more of a prayer jar. Okay. And I have this sweet little label that is mine. It just says prayer jar on it, and it has like the little prayer hands. So if you want this label, it's not available on Etsy or anywhere else. If you want it, just let me know that you've subscribed to my YouTube channel, and I will send it right over. Just shoot me a message. Hi, Miss Mara. Miss Liz. Okay, I already said Miss Liz. I'm trying to keep up with all the messages, and sometimes it's hard. But also, I don't always see all the messages. I'll go back sometimes and be like, I never saw that, so I didn't tell them good morning. So if you're saying good morning and I'm not seeing it, good morning to you. Good morning. All right, so this is still a little bit sticky. I did wipe it down with like some vinegar and stuff, but I didn't put a whole lot of effort into it because I'm just going to paint over it. So I'm going to do the black. I still want this to have kind of like a primitive look to it. But we'll give it some sweet little flair here. Your church is going through Corinthians. Very cool. Yeah. It's so rich, right? And it's like, it really hits you. Paul hits you hard. He's got some hard truths in there. Especially when it comes to, like righteous living and all this stuff. Like, I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. I got really convicted yesterday. Y'all are going to think that I'm a horrible person, but I'm going to tell you anyways. Because we don't always display on the outside what's happening on the inside, but just because we're not displaying that doesn't mean that it's not important. And I think that Paul does a really good job in Corinthians, really portraying that the heart posture is so important, right? And so I am not a person that is like rude, typically. I've had to kind of work on becoming rude, if that makes sense. Good morning, Miss Linda. Because in certain situations, you need to be rude. Like the other day, we were in a store, and my girls were trying on dresses for Sunday church, and the maintenance man saw me there struggling to keep the door shut on my youngest daughter's dressing room, and it was like I could feel like the Holy Spirit being like, be rude. And so he came over there. It's like a little hallway area, and he was trying to come in to the hallway area where he would be able to see through the crack my daughter. And I was like, no, turn around. You ain't coming in here. So I was rude. I was rude there. But yesterday I had to go into HEB, and we have a very small HEB in my town. Okay. I live in a very small town. Okay. And there were these two elderly women, very cute and sweet, and you can tell that they're older, and their bodies are not as spry as they once were. One of the ladies was in one of those electric carts, and they were just trying to get themselves some peaches, and I was hangry. I had not eaten, and of course I didn't say anything to them because I'm not a monster, but I could feel myself get frustrated. And I think that that's the kind of heart posture that Paul is referring to when he's talking about, you know, like really having a heart for the Lord and things like that. So, and especially, you know, we carry the death of Jesus in our body. What's going on inside our body is so important. So even though I wasn't ugly to somebody, I was still ugly, right? And so I really felt the conviction of that. And I was like, these ladies are just trying to get themselves some peaches, okay? They're not intending to block the entire entrance and like cause people to line up outside of the door of HEB as if there was like a celebrity inside, right? Good morning, Miss Patricia. And so I felt really convicted there. And I was like, okay, there's something here that the Lord is working on in me. Okay, loud noise happening right now. Oh, maybe not. What's going on? Oh, I got unplugged. Give me just a second. Oh, try not to fall off my stool here. Oh, there we go. We're back in business. So, anyways, I thought, you know, how great would it be to do a craft that's going to remind me of how important it is to have that relationship constantly going and to be constantly in prayer. Having something simple just sitting on my shelf that, you know, just says prayer jar on it or something, it's going to remind me to pray, right? And I am going to do little things to go inside, but I just thought that this is going to be so good. And I think that people especially need to be in prayer during the fall and winter months. It's kind of when the life really starts to leave the outdoors, right? Everything goes dormant. And we can go dormant too in our spiritual life if we're not careful. We can cuddle up on the couch with our hot chocolate and watch all the Christmas movies and just, you know, kind of get lazy with our spiritual life, if you will. So I know I especially sometimes need that reminder to be in prayer and to be in constant, hi, Miss Bonnie. That's my nanny over there. To be in a constant posture of, Lord, mold me, mold my heart, cleanse my heart. You are the potter and I am the clay, you know, just being in that stance. So that's where I'm going with this. That's where I'm going with this. And I just think that it's going to be so precious on my shelf. I did have to thin out my Waverly chalk paint with some coffee grunge because it's down to the bottom, but I want to use it up. So I thinned it out a little bit just so it's not so clumpy. And once I get to Walmart in these coming days, I will purchase some more. So, but I'm going to need probably a couple of coats. So I'm drying this first coat and then I'll go back over it and we'll put some fun things on it. But anyways, if y'all have been with me for a while, you know how crazy busy I am, running back and forth to see my husband, all these activities for my kids and everything. And I finally decided that I needed to schedule a day off for me, okay? So I decided Mondays would be the day that I don't leave the house. And I made this declaration, okay, I'm not leaving the house on Mondays. I did that last week. I said, okay, I have to rest, or I'm just going to, I'm going to start to go downhill, right? Everyone needs rest. That's biblical. Resting is biblical. Even God rested. Zimmy, Simple Designs, good morning. How are you? So I decided Mondays, right? Well, when I made that decision, I forgot that twice a month on Monday evenings, we also have 4-H meetings. We have county council on the last Monday of the month, and then we have our club meetings on the first Monday of the month in the evenings. I was like, that's fine. I can do 2 evenings a month. No big deal. Well, I'm laying there on the couch, kind of mentally preparing for my live. And my daughter comes in and she's like, we have to go to the feed store. We don't have any horse feed for tonight. I'm like, oh, hi, Robin. Oh, thank you. Please tell me your name repeatedly, just like on repeat every time you see me. Just be like, hi, I'm Robin. I'm working on learning all the names of you wonderful ladies, but I also am working on learning the names of all the children in our co-op, new kids that come into our church, all the parents for the co-op and the new kids at our church. And I also, we have an issue with mold in my house. We've had it remedied before, but I'm starting to think with some of like the health situations that we've been having as of recent that we have more mold that's lurking somewhere. Once you get mold in your house, it's like you may as well just burn it down and move. But I know that mold affects me and my brain. So I am on a hunt. I'm on a mold hunt right now, which is another reason I need to be able to be home every once in a while so I can actually, I don't know, clean my house and like look for things that are amiss, you know, kind of pull things out of my pantry, reorganize, clean out my refrigerator, pull out my stove, clean behind there, all that jazz. But I guess that's not going to happen today because I'm not willing to let my horses not eat dinner tonight. So I was going to try to see if one of my friends was going to the feed store that kind of drives by my area. Maybe I could just like meet them close because the feed store where we're getting our feed is like on the other side of the next town over. So it's a little bit of a drive. Oh well. You win some, you lose some. Yes, you need to rest. Oh. Hi, Miss Jackie. Miss Robin. So, anyways. All right, got my second coat of black chalk paint on there. Okay. In here, I put some pumpkin spice extract in here because when I was looking for my vanilla, I also found pumpkin spice extract in my coffee grunge. And so my chalk paint is already smelling very, this jar is warm, so the paint's drying faster than I want it to. Okay, I might need to go back over it. So anyways, this is pumpkin pie spice. I'm just going with it on the pumpkin pie spice. Where's my podge? Okay, I'll use some coffee podge to help it along here. So that warm jar dried it up so quickly. I don't think that it's going to work out. Well, I could just kind of, let's see here what we can get going. I just want to make sure that it's going to stick. See, I want this to have the primitive look. Just because it's looking primitive doesn't mean that your jar has to say something like pumpkin pie or something else that's primitive. Prayer has been around for much longer than pumpkin pie. I can guarantee you that. I can guarantee you that. It doesn't get much more old-timey than prayer. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm highly susceptible. Yes, yes. Yes, it is amazing. No, so my hair used to grow really great, okay? And you can't really tell to look at me, like, unless I really point it out, but one side grows longer than the other. This side doesn't really like to grow. So I'm thinking about extensions. So if I go from this to this overnight, you know that I did something. But my hair, when we moved in this house, it decided all of a sudden that we weren't going to be growing no more. Good morning, Miss Angie. Thank you. Thank you. So anyways, this is the coffee podge made with the clear glue instead of the white. So it looks kind of like gravy. Smells like pumpkin pie because I made it with my my pumpkin pie coffee grunge. So listen, August 1st hit and everyone's laughing at me on my Facebook page because normally I just drink truck driver coffee, like black as night. But August 1st, I had me some coffee with let's see, I put caramel creamer in it, and then I had my pumpkin spice syrup that I get. You can buy like the big bottles of syrup from like Home Goods for super inexpensive. Oh my goodness gracious. Compared to what they are online, super inexpensive. So I'm just gonna do this. Anyways, so I did that, and then of course I made my big old long ode to fall post on Facebook, and people were laughing at me. So I'm like, I just love fall, and I love pumpkin, and I grew my pumpkins in the spring just to be sure that I would have enough canned pumpkin for all of the things this holiday season, because I really just I've got to have my pumpkin pie. My family loves pumpkin rolls so much. I like pumpkin rolls, but I don't know why. I like pumpkin pie better. My family thinks I'm a little on the crazy side. That's okay. I can be a little crazy. No harm in crazy, right? I hope. Aw, thank you. I appreciate the sprinkles, y'all. Miss Denise, good morning. Did I tell you good morning? I hope I did. I don't know. I hope y'all can hear me okay. Ever since I took a couple weeks off or whatever, I still haven't charged my microphones to like clip on my mics, but I feel like you might hear me just fine. But then when my voice gets lower, I don't know if you guys are really hearing me fine, because when I'm thinking, my volume, my natural volume in my voice goes up and down. I don't have much time left. I better hurry. Once I get an idea, I get super involved in like all the details. But I'm going to tell you what the plan is anyways. Okay, so I'm going to go around this with my deal and pull away the thing so I can have that rough edge on it. But then I have all these buttons, okay? Buttons that I won't use. I'm going to trace around them on paper and then write down my prayers and then glue them to the buttons and then put it inside. Isn't that cool? Oh, Johnston from North Massachusetts. Well, welcome, Miss Tina Johnston. Okay. Well, welcome in, Tina. Thank you for being here. Oh, good. I'm glad you hear me good, Miss Jackie. I want you to know, Miss Jackie, I love your channel, and I think you're a hoot. I do. I think you are just a hoot. I love your channel. So, anyways. So back to me being a horrible person with those old ladies. Y'all, please pray for me. I don't want to be, let's see. I don't want the opportunity to exercise patience. I just want the patience. I want the ability to just automatically see the beauty in people and not my inconvenience. You know what I mean? Like those sweet ladies, you know, their bodies are like that because they've spent their life sacrificing their bodies to probably bear children or, you know, care for others. And they deserve the patience, people around them in the grocery store when they're just trying to, you know, get their food for the week or whatever. Like they deserve some patience. And I want it to be so automatic that I don't have to stop myself. I want it to just like automatically be like, look at those beautiful wildflowers standing in front of me getting their peaches. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense? Does that make any sense? I don't know if I'm making any sense, but last time I prayed for patience, I got lots of opportunities to exercise patience, okay? I just want the patience. I just want the patience. Is that normal? I feel like that's a common thing. Like, can it just come to me? Like wisdom. The Bible says if you pray for wisdom, you'll get it. Like the Lord will give you wisdom. Okay, well, can you also just give me patience? Yeah. Just like wrap it up. Amazon Prime it over. All right. That's how we're looking. My little prayer jar. This was a pickle jar, okay? These were pickles. We love the pickles. We are pickle eaters in this house. Okay. What am I doing here? Oh, I put my thing in there. Gosh golly. Okay. Let me think. It's fine. Everything's fine. How are you doing, Miss Nani? I have to push the C more to see your comment. And it's not much fun. Yes, you need a prayer button. I'll make you a prayer button, Nani. You know what? I did that and I actually brought my my iPad over here. Although when I'm watching, it's not as fast with the comments. Well, maybe. See, okay. I guess that is going to work. I don't know. I never know if that's going to be like right. Oh gosh, and now I can't see up there. All right. Let's see. Let me just get this glued up and I'll stick this on here in a place. Trying to find a good spot for it. I'm trying to get it straight too. That's another thing. Trying to get it on there straight. Okay. And I might need more. And let's see. This is just, again, my coffee podge, Miss Tracy's recipe, except I used white glue and it has the pumpkin extract. So it smells amazing. Look at that. All right, I didn't do the top because I'm going to, wait, what time is it? Okay, I've got time. Let's see, let me push this, because when I did that, oh, thank you. Yes, this was a thrift store find. Isn't it neat? I like it. And then I just threw this little deal over the top of it because the back is kind of sheer, and when the cold air from like the AC and stuff hits my back, I'm like, ooh. But in this weather, I do not want to wear too many layers. So I didn't put on an undershirt. I wanted the thing, I don't know. So anyways, that's what I did there. I know I'm not making sense today. I will eventually. I will. I guess I could have just worn the undershirt and not the vest, but I like the vest too. I think it gives me some color. I'm also wearing like black jeggings, so I'm not completely all wearing black. It feels like fall outside. Even though it's hot, there's a feeling in the air, right? I don't know if y'all get like the feeling of fall, but there's like this feeling that I get when fall is amongst us. We don't actually get fall here though. We don't. We get the time of fall, but what we get is summer, a cold snap that brings us down to like 80 degrees. And then we get second summer. Okay. Then we get another cold snap that'll bring us down to like 60-ish. Okay. Then we get third summer. Then we get winter. We don't actually ever get fall. Now, the trees know, right? All the plants know, because the hours of sunlight do decrease. And so we still lose leaves, but the weather does not get, it doesn't come into cooperation with fall time things. It wants no part of the fall extravaganza that we all want. The weather here is in like mosquito preservation mode, I think. It favors the mosquitoes over us. All right, how's this looking for y'all? Isn't that cute? Cute little prayer jar. All right. I feel like I need a little bit more stuff. Just a little bit more on here, just to make sure it's gonna stay down. Okay. And then I'm gonna leave it there. Okay. Right. All right. So that's good. Now I'm going to work on, okay, I wanted this stuff, and then I need my, let's see here. Nope, it's not there. Hold on, give me just a second. Here we go. Eureka! All right, not that one. I need this one. I want to do this. I want to use the cheesecloth because it reminds me of the burial cloths, right? That Jesus left in the tomb. All right, let me see here. I've been going over, like basically this entire past year in my Wednesday night class with my kids' church kids. I've been going through this book called Journey to the Cross, and it basically goes through a ton of like the historical aspects of the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus. And it is so cool because like there are some things that I had no idea about, like the fact that his cloths, when they found the tomb empty, his cloths were still like in the shape of his body. And back then they wrapped, you know, people so tightly. Like, how would he get out of those cloths and leave them laying there in the shape of his body? Isn't that cool? I thought that was like really interesting. All right, so here we go. And all right, I'm just going to go around here and give that a tie. I don't know where my, let me see. I know I have things. Okay, I do have things. I haven't cleaned up my area in a couple weeks. So things are just like laying here, right? Because I've been in and out. You guys know the story. All the humdrum of my life. Constantly on the go. And so I don't clean up. And then I'm like, well, do I actually have what I thought I had out here? And then it is here. And then it just appears for me. Okay, sorry guys. Working on my life here. All right, got that going. How does that look? Should I move this to a little bit to the side? I think maybe. I want this to come up and kind of hide the unpainted areas. So I'll probably hot glue that over and around on the glass there, so that the paint's still a little wet. But you see where I'm going with that? I kind of want it to look Jesus-y, okay? If that makes any sense. Oh gosh. Am I making any sense today? I need a nod of confirmation. Am I making sense? I don't know. All right, and then I love this little twine just to give it a little bit more of that like rustic, biblical look, I guess. I don't know. It looks like something that would be back in that time, right? So we'll just come over here, and I kind of want to wrap it around a couple of times. So, but I want it under that one. All right. So it's wrapped. And I can just tie it, give it a tie. I need that hot glue to get hot though, so I can glue. There we go. There we go. Let's see. Like this needs trimmed up a little bit. There we go. All right, there. Let me just glue this, and then we can make at least one button, maybe. Oh, come on. All right, well, while we wait on that, I will dump out this button that I threw in there. And I'm going to use my little pen to trace around it on this little scrap piece of paper. And it doesn't have to be, you know, fancy paper or anything like that, just whatever you've got, okay? Now you could get as fancy with this as you would like, or just as simple as you want. It doesn't matter. Does not matter. What matters is that you're praying. You're praying for people, okay? So my biggest prayer right now is for my husband being away from his family, and I just want him to have peace in his heart. So I'm going to put peace in Seth's heart. My husband's name is Seth. And then, all right, simple. You don't have to print it out. It doesn't have to be some grand anything, but I'm just going to use my coffee podge here, give that a coat right there on the inside of this giant button. This came in a pack from Walmart. It's like the $7 pack or whatever of buttons. Giant button. And then I'm just going to press it down in there, and it's going to be a little wrinkled. That's okay. And I'm going to trim off any excess. Push that down. And then I'm going to go over it with more of my coffee podge. And that's just going to seal it. Oops. Don't drop it on yourself though. Sounds like the neighbors are mowing outside. Are they mowing my property? It sounds like they're very close to me. Oh, we have a little area in my yard that where the property line goes kind of wonky. And so sometimes they end up mowing a portion of our property, but we think that they think that it's their, I don't know. You can't really think what other people are thinking, right? Because you don't know for sure what other people are thinking. Maybe they're just nice and trying to go a little bit over just to make sure that there's no long area. Here we go. I'm going to glue this down a bit so that it comes over the top there. This cheesecloth can be glued down over the top. And if you have any prayer requests, please let me know. I would love to make a button and throw it in the jar for you and keep you in my prayers. I really think that that's very important for a community, that we lift one another up in prayer and really, you know, we care about each other's problems, right? And things. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes. Isn't it just a sweet little activity? You could do this with your ladies' Bible study group or with your kids, your grandkids. It's just a sweet little thing to do, especially with a group of people. That hot glue was really excited to see me today. Let me just dry this a bit before I throw it in. I don't want that paper to come off. You don't have to put it on buttons. I just thought it was a cute idea, a way to like use up buttons that I'm not necessarily going to use. And safe travels for Miss Nora. Absolutely, absolutely, Miss Nora. I'm going to write that down right here on my paper, and I'm going to make a button. Okay, Nora, safe travels, moving to Oklahoma. Yes, definitely praying for you for that. Absolutely. All right, pushing this down a little bit more in the center just to make sure it's good and sealed on there. And that dried good. You can go over this as many times as you want, or you can use, you know, different sealants or whatever, just whatever you like, whatever is going to work for you. And there's my button going in for my husband. Let me make another little button for Miss Nora and her safe travels. I've got 2 minutes, so I'm just going to go for it here. All right. Okay. It's not a perfect circle. I'm going to go, I made it a little big, so I'm going to go right in here, right within those lines there. Hopefully I won't have extra coming off the button. Nora, safe travels, moving to Oklahoma. Okay. There's my little, and it's going on my button. All right. Let me open this back up. Yeah, I've got time. See how quick this is? Just a quick little jab. This is right in your way so you can't see. You could spend time making sweet little tags and all kinds of things, or you can just do it like I am with a quick little note on a piece of paper, put on a button, or maybe just a little, I don't know, doodad, a thingamabob, a little knick-knack sitting around. Good morning, Miss Becca. And there you go. You've got a sweet little way to add more prayer into your life, to get you thinking about others. You know, anytime I'm down, it really helps me to pray for others. It helps me to serve others. Serving others just really fills my heart. So anytime I'm feeling down, I start looking for ways to do things for other people. Taking a meal to somebody, or calling somebody, or just doing anything I can like that. It just really, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. All right, Miss Nora, your button's going in the jar. It's that simple, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed today's craft. I hope you guys are in the group Craft Around the Clock. Be sure and refresh your screen for the next presenter. I will see you guys Thursday, bright and early, 6:45. Please be awake and join me, because I should be even more goofy at that time than I was today. All right. So y'all have a blessed day. Keep praying. And thank you for making a homemade home with me today. Bye, y'all.